That's how I feel. You either win or you learn. So.
Jalen Hurts is overrated. He will take a huge step backwards this year.
From just inside the 4, Hurts to the end.
$50 million for a running back playing quarterback with a noodle arm who can't even throw. Jalen Hurts is the most overrated player in the league, and the Eagles won't be back anytime soon.
47. Good protection again. Launch downfield. Watkins wide open. Touchdown.
Money is nice. Championships are better.
Has all day. Loaded up. Taking a shot. Looking for A.J. Brown. He's got it.
I want to thank Mr. Lurie, Howie, and Julian.
NFL all overrated team. Quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Running back, Austin Eckler. Wide receiver, Cooper Kupp. Wide receiver, Keenan Allen. Wide receiver, DJ Moore. Tight end, TJ Hawkinson. And defender, Tariq Woolen. I wonder if this guy wants to share any more bad takes with the class, because this is a terrible take.
3 years ago today,
the Philadelphia Eagles are taking Jalen Hurts. How surprising is that?
shocking the world and taking the kid from Oklahoma.
Jalen Hurts has nothing to prove. He's wrong. I do. I think Hurts has a ton to prove. What has he proven?
Good protection for Jalen Hurts, who takes a shot, and he's got A.J.
So, no, Nick, I just need to see more than 1 year.
The Eagles aren't that great, and Jalen Hurts is overrated. The 49ers could have beaten them if Brock Purdy had stayed healthy. The 49ers should be better next season. They just need to start fast, take care of business, and get the #1 seed. And maybe don't leave Hassan Reddick blocked by backup tight end.
Across the entire league. Not a fake pressure coming. Purdy, Dak, floating in the air is...
Just really can't help but keep the main thing the main thing.
You know, a lot of guys can rah-rah, can do all this. He does a lot with his body language and how he works.
You dudes gonna be disappointed when you dudes barely sneak into the playoffs. You had a great season last year with an average quarterback with that system. Reminds me of the Cam-led Panthers, team that made it to the Super Bowl. You say the word dude a lot, so Cowabunga, dude.
I had a purpose before everybody had an opinion. It's not about anybody else.
What's up, Cerebral football fans? My name is Steven Hyder. This is Gate City Sports Channel. Dude. I apologize, ladies. Ma'am, did you have any doubts that I was going to tap in on this discussion that's taking place on Twitter about Jalen Hurts? And I wasn't going to review the figures, wasn't going to review the numbers that are being reported, and then give some objectivity and then also some context to these things?
Completion percentage inside the 10-yard line. Dak, 63%, third best. Jalen, 36%, second worst. Jalen is embarrassingly bad at making throws into tight windows in the money zone. Dak is a straight-up gunslinger from 10 in. Now I get why they just had his O-line push him in for 6 instead.
The main problem I have with this analysis is, have you guys ever heard the saying, the dose makes the poison? Well, let's take a look at exactly what's going on with these numbers. Okay, inside the 10, so if we're talking from the opponent's 9 to the opponent's 1, going into the end zone, guys. If we're talking about that area, we are talking about 25 throws for Dak Prescott and 20 throws for Jalen Hurts. Does that seem like an adequate assessment to make in regards to tight window throws? I'm sure we could definitely make some points about the structure of the Philadelphia Eagles offense, the structure of like us creating free releases inside of that area. But to say that's something that is 6% of throws for Dak Prescott and 4% of throws for Jalen Hurts is a great marker and indicator of a guy's ability to throw into tight windows, I'm straight up calling absolute BS. It's crazy to me that we kind of act like both these teams were incredibly good in that money zone. As if we're not talking about the third leading scoring offense inside opponents' 10 in the Philadelphia Eagles and the fifth best team in the Dallas Cowboys. As if both of these teams didn't put up a tremendous amount of points once they got you down there. What are we doing? Are we handing out style points? Is that what this is about? Is this about the way you score? Or is this about winning football games and making teams pay when you get inside their 10, because both teams are pretty good at that. Some other interesting notes about this topic. The Philadelphia Eagles played 509 snaps on the season behind a 10-plus point lead. We were number 1 overall in the NFL, and it was by a very wide margin, to be quite honest. Of those 509 snaps, 23 of those snaps took place in the third and fourth quarter inside our opponent's 9 to 1 yard line with a 10-plus point lead. And, to be fair, because this is a big criticism a lot of us as Eagle fans had, we didn't necessarily firmly put our foots on the throats of opponents. And we didn't necessarily use Jalen Hurts in those situations. That's 23 snaps out of the total amount of snaps he had inside that marker, to where the Eagles were a little blasé about what they did there, guys. He threw 3 passes and rushed the ball 3 times. 6 separate possessions where he's holding the ball, trying to make a difference in the game, giving the statistical situation. But to be fair, guys, those 3 passes, when you add those into the 20, I mean, we are talking about a significant amount of that percentage, guys. 3 out of those 20 passes. This is why I keep trying to say in this video, guys, the dose equals the poison. What does this information tell us about the Philadelphia Eagles offense in that particular area of the field? 2 things in my opinion. Number 1, our offensive line is really good and Jalen Hurts is incredibly difficult to stop if you allow him into that area of the field. Because now you're going to have to defend the Eagles in multiple ways. Take this play for example, guys. Number 1, let's just run the play and let you guys see exactly what is happening to this defense. Exactly what is happening to one of the better defenses in the NFL and how Jalen Hurts is manipulating this entire thing. All right, now let's run it back, and I want you guys to pay particular attention to basically how the end has to crash and how these linebackers have to play Jalen Hurts and this option-based offense here. You can see everybody's eyes were on Jalen Hurts. It was quite obvious here, right? And then to make things worse is that if you do not play Jalen Hurts on this and you do not crash down, well then you get the result of the play, which is a running back walking into the end zone. Let's further add context to this. I hate tunnel screens, to be quite honest. It's not that I don't think they're effective, I just think we overutilize them, to be quite honest. But this is a tough wrinkle when you look at it in this perspective, right? You got an end crashing down, you can play the running back, right? You got an end who could play contain and play Jalen Hurts, but now you got to worry about the running backs and the linebackers getting over there to cut off the lanes. Or you got to worry about Jalen Hurts reading this whole thing and seeing it and hitting you out into the flats with a tunnel screen, to where you got Zach Pascal and you got A.J. Brown out there, and that's a problem in itself in terms of trying to stop these yak guys and strong physical dudes around that area of the field. I mean, this offense is built to really put you in a complex situation. Now, the critique I'll take away from what I see from people saying and what I saw from my own eyes, I don't see a lot of free releases from the Philadelphia Eagles offense down in that area. And I know that's not an easy thing to say, guys, because it's like, yeah, Steve, that's a relative to the style of offense we play, and if you start running free releases, you can't do some of those things that you're doing with Jalen Hurts. I get it. I agree with what everybody's saying to an extent. But I will add this. Man, it would be nice on occasion, I don't know the percentage here, but on occasion to see the Philadelphia Eagles do a little bit more switch release, just a little bit more stacked sets down there. Just things, motion-based stuff, like Kansas City did to us in the Super Bowl. Things to free our receivers up for easy throwing windows and lanes for Jalen Hurts. That's my 2 cents, guys. I'm not too sure that Jalen Hurts, this young man, is ever going to get his due respect. Outside the fan base, guys, I can't say. What I can say is that you can bring up all these statistics you want. Stop them on the football field. The bottom line is when you filter by the stats, in my opinion, sole opinion here, that are important, which is how do you play against winning organizations? He's above 500. How do you play against playoff teams? He's at 500. How do you play against the top DVOA defense? He's above 500. How do you play against the top DVOA pass defenses? He's at like 500. When you filter by those things, Jalen's doing his thing. And you guys were real quick to bring up those records early on during the 2021 season. Now let's take a look at those things. Now let's discuss them.